Hey, Bloomies. It's your girl, Chris with a K, and you're listening to the Blooming Lately podcast, a podcast for late bloomers by a late bloomer, because we're never late. We're just blooming on our own time. In today's episode, I want to talk about rebranding yourself after navigating major life shifts. You know, a lot of us are in our big threes and in our big fours, and we are coming to grips with a lot of things that we are wanting to release, things that were never ours to begin with. Um, and in that, there's a rebirth of sorts, whether it's you reconnecting to childhood passions and dreams that you've had for yourself, or actually going down that path and realizing that is actually not for you or what you ever wanted to do. So we're just facing a lot of truths in this time, especially in the year of 2026, child. There's a lot of things going on. The world is on fire. So we're all at, you know what is there to lose at this point? And someone that came to mind for me, who I've seen her share this journey, her journey so beautifully, is Shaniqua Major. She is a communication strategist, founder of Whatever is Good PR and marketing, along with the founder of Major's Project Pop. So joining us today is Major. Hey, Major, how are you?
Girl, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, I'm so elated to have you on.
I'm excited. This is going to be a really rich conversation. I'm excited.
Oh, so good. But I want to start off. So, how have you been blooming lately?
Been, I am the phrase that I've been using as of late is I am in the best season of my life. And I really believe that. I believe that the sun is shining on my skin and I am in the best season of my life. I have been doing a lot of work and a lot of growing over the past, well, my whole life, right? So I feel like everything in my life that has happened, good or bad, has all been for this very season of my life. And I feel that there's a lot that will change in this season that will impact the rest of my journey here on this wonderful, wild, crazy earth. And I'm really excited about it. So I find myself deeply curious these days, very immersed in learning myself and reshaping my identity, how I show up in the world, and then encouraging people to do the same. So it's a good time for me.
How would you describe that version of you as a woman today?
Ooh, this version of Major is seen, loved, welcomed, bright, again, deeply curious. She is about her own business and not just like business, but like my business, like the work of my life. Um, she is uh, funny and lighthearted and deep, very loving and attentive. She is fit and
Okay.
yes, and
Oh, I love that.
just
She just got it going
yeah,
on.
she is
She's everything.
everything that I never imagined that I would be as a young girl. Like I didn't see this. I didn't when people talk about like who do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? That's always
Yeah.
been a very hard question for me to answer because I just feel like your whole world can change in a day. And so you're asking
Hmm.
me about 5 to 10 years from now, like I can give you maybe a little forecast, maybe like, a little micro like paragraph or some concepts or ideas about not necessarily what I want happening in the world, but like who I want to be. That's something that I know that I can kind of manage a bit on my own. But yeah, little Major or little Niqua, as I call her,
No.
she didn't see this version of herself. And yeah, I get the great joy of reparenting myself these days and doing a lot of that inner work. And so yeah, she's proud of her bigger self for sure.
Oh, that's
Mm,
so sweet.
yeah.
Okay, so if you're little Niqua,
Mhm.
forecasting the future. I know you said answering that question is tough, but
Right.
little Niqua, if she had
Right.
to think, what version of woman did she think she was gonna be, and how close is that to where you are now? What did she think you'd be doing by then?
Well, I wanted to be a dancer when I was younger, and so I thought that maybe I guess I'd never when I was a kid, I think it goes back to our previous conversation, I was so busy always working, I don't know that I had a lot of room to dream. That
Mm,
makes sense. Like, I was so studious and just always just trying to make life big where I was, thinking externally or just into the future about whatever, it that wasn't really where I spent most of my time. I'm usually a very present, focused person, still am to this day, which is why I think it's hard for me to answer that question. Just even when somebody
hmm
asks me now, like, who do where do you want to be in 5 years? I'm like, that's a very silly question for me. Some people like live in the past.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
very so a present type of person, but I did wanna be a dancer, and so dance was a really
okay,
big part of my life, and if I were to put myself if little Niqua was to speak, and join
yeah,
the podcast, I feel that I would express I really just wanna do something that I can be creative and that I can express
mm,
myself and let, like, creativity and goodness and all the things that make me flow out. I think that's always what I've
mm.
aspired
Was
to be and to do.
so dancing was more of that safe space where you could be free.
Yeah, it was expression, but it was also community 'cause I was a part of a dance team, and so I got to be around people and get loved on and love on people and share, that just creative energy. That, to me, is something I've always craved. I still crave it to this day, and that's why I do all the
Yeah.
things that I do. And so I think that's what I ultimately wanted, and of course, I had a mom who was like, "You're not a dancer, girl, you need to go work in computers," and I'm like, Okay." So, I put my dance dreams down
Mm,
on advertising and PR at UCF, and, I say my mom hurting my feelings in that season was probably one of the best gifts she's ever given me because
really?
I I could get very, like, caught up in the fact that, "Oh, she took that from me," or whatever, which some people, that's a real thing, and I honor that. But for me,
Yeah.
her redirect was was great. I mean, I get to live a very full life these days. I work a lot, but I get to enjoy the work that I do. That wasn't always the case. Um,
Mm,
but I get to really enjoy the work that I do and still find so much room to express. That's all I do every single day is creative expression, whether it's through my PR business, my popcorn, becoming a Pilates instructor. All of this is just like movement, expression.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so her redirect allowed me to have a very stable life. One that allowed me to thrive. And now if I
Yeah.
want to explore, my dancing endeavors or whatever, like, I could do that stress and carefree. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
Do you think her redirection helped you get more in alignment or attuned with your purpose? Because I feel like your purpose has always kind of been there as as the
Yeah.
connector, as the
Mhm.
okay.
I do. I think that I would've gotten there either way. That I
Okay.
can feel very certain about. One way or another, I would've gotten to this. It just might have been like an alternate universe, right? Where maybe I would be owning a dance studio or whatever the case might be. But,
Yeah.
um, today, I just get to do it in just a very different way, but I still get to be me and express. And I think that's one of the reasons why I find my hands in so many different things, or even I think about, like, if I were looking at my life from the outside, I'd be like, "What is she doing now?" You know? Like, uh, I'm just
It's
ex
definitely exciting though.
yeah,
You
I'm
take people on a
extremely
journey.
expressive and, um, you know, not to be that person, but I do
Yeah.
think I have some. form of like ADHD. Like I'm starting
Girl,
to see it now, and I'm like, okay, I need to go. I've actually been Googling. I'm gonna go get tested because
I'm currently going through the process of getting evaluated. I made
you
it to the
are
first step. Oh yeah, because I
okay. I need you to send me the
throughout.
link.
Oh, absolutely, I will. Because my therapist, we've been having so many sessions. She's like, I'm gonna tell you this with love. I love Black women therapists. She
Yeah,
was just like, I'm gonna need you to go to your primary and get a referral now.
yeah. I'm gonna do. I found a place locally that does it. I'm like, you know,
Yeah, it's helpful.
and because I don't know that it will change much about how I move. I
Yeah,
think what it will do is just give me more grace for myself and just
that's yes,
more like an attunement to why I do certain things.
yes,
And so that again, so I'm not so hard on myself about certain things that I am just
yeah,
naturally inclined to do or think or whatever the case might be. And because I'm around a lot of people who are neurodivergent, I've seen it all, from
yeah. We're all on a spectrum somewhere.
ADHD, right? The way that that might present could be totally
Mm-hmm.
different in you, and Black women in particular, I think are so underdiagnosed, especially high performing. I'm like, "Oh, the math." So I was like, "But I just
Yeah,
just don't get evaluated so I can just" you know,
yeah,
I love to be able to label a thing because it gives me power, I feel like,
yeah.
versus a big question mark, like, "Well, I don't know," you know?
Major, why are you explaining my life right now? Because
I don't know. I don't
and
know.
it maybe also me being a comms major, maybe this is what we need to like at the foundational level to help us succeed in this area. Because for me, that was the main thing pushing me to get evaluated is I always like to get to the root of why.
Yes, me
I
too.
need explanations. So me being fervent and researching is always to get the answers to why. And then once I get the answers, I'm good.
Yes.
I don't want to use the diagnosis or whatever as a crutch or it's just
No.
like, oh, this makes sense, and having added that label will help me find the correct resources that I need because I realize in certain areas that I struggle, there's books on everything, there's podcasts on everything. I would get some of the message, but it wouldn't necessarily click for
Can
me
stick for you. Yeah.
until like adding the proper label to seeing, oh, okay, at least if they explain it through this lens, I can see how I can develop a system to kind of set myself up for success in this area. So for me, it's more so, I know I'm somewhere on that spectrum, Joe.
For
I just want to
sure.
know what is my little area.
Like, what do I need to thrive? Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. It's all to
Mhm.
be resourceful and help us to level up in the next area.
Yep.
So
We're on the same
you so yes, you mentioned that being like your first shift, going from dancing to then your mom being like,
page.
hey boo, hey, maybe you should consider this. So what would you say was your next major life shift that helped you to either get deeper into who you are or help you like push through to evolve?
Oh, well, I've had a bajillion and one shifts my whole life.
Ciao.
Let me think. Well, college was interesting. Everything from like wanting to go to grad school to not. I almost joined the military because I come from a military family. Literally, the last step was for me to go to the Fashion Square Mall and get on a bus, and it was going to take me down to Tampa. Like I was like
Ooh.
in there. I didn't go. So I'm one of the few people in my family that doesn't have, stripes or anything like that. But I'm trying to think. I was just so many things. I mean, I think the biggest thing that you and I talked about earlier was getting married.
Mhm.
That was huge. I grew up with so many expectations, none that anybody put on me. Like,
Okay.
nobody, this was all me, my imagination, watching TV and letting whatever in my mind just go wild and create these like very strong predictions that then became deadlines, right? That
Mhm.
I needed to fulfill in order to be successful. My mom, she never talked to me about she just told me the only boyfriend you need needs to be named Booker, and she was talking about books, okay? So we never
I
talked
love
about relationships.
Black moms. I
Yes,
love it.
there was nothing about marriage, nothing. Because I grew up in, a single parent household. My parents got divorced when I was really young. I've always been a daddy's girl, but I live with my mom and my siblings in upstate New York, and then my dad he was in the military, so he traveled the world. So we would see him when he would come to visit. We would come to visit Florida from time to time because my family is from here originally. And so, yeah, but I don't know why. I don't know if it was TV or something, but I had always
Mm,
told myself I would be married by 24 and I would have kids starting at age 26.
wow.
That was Major's timeline, okay? I don't know why. I don't, but that was my
Did you
son.
were your peers, like your friends and stuff like that, like also having
No,
that same mindset?
no,
Oh,
no.
so
But I've
okay.
always been a very high achiever. So achievement is, yes, has been, it's always high on the list for me. It's just changed now. It's evolved to like, what does
Yeah.
achievement look like for me these days? Looks very different, but that's
Yeah.
been a thing for me. And so, okay, well, one relationship that I was in, I think I was with that guy for like 6 years, didn't go the
Wow.
way that I wanted it to go. So now now I'm scrambling, right? I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do?
You're like this timeline coming up, and I need a
Yeah.
husband.
I have no ring, I have no
My
babies.
God.
What is
Yeah.
happening? While I'm feeling very, um, maybe unfulfilled, but like my dating life was popping. Okay.
Okay.
I was woo. Okay. This was pre-apps. Okay.
Oh,
It
okay.
might have
Come
been
on.
Plenty of Fish might have been out, whatever at that time.
Yeah. Like
But
the OG ones like Match and stuff like
yeah,
that. The online, I think it was like the online one, not the apps yet, but yeah.
yeah, it was definitely online. Yes, for
And
sure.
OK Cupid, I
Okay,
think.
Cupid. Yeah. I was on Okay
Yeah.
Cupid.
Yeah.
My
Plenty of
arrows
fish,
were out
OK
there.
Cupid.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, my dating life was on fire. I mean, so much so we used to keep this dry erase board at the job that I was at. And that's how we
Yes.
would keep up with Major's dating life. Okay. So it was like this guy on Monday, this guy on Tuesday, that.
Come on.
Flowers at the door, him coming to pick me up. And this, I mean, it was woo.
Woo. Okay.
So it was a time. Okay. But I
All
still felt
right.
like, but it all felt like it was a means to an end. It was like, I need to
Okay.
find my husband. Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, your girl still had her goals.
Yeah.
So, long story short, that's a whole other conversation we'll talk about offline because it is funny.
Okay.
I allow my brain to go back there. I'm like, girl, you were lit.
Ooh.
Woo. Okay. But
Yeah.
no, I ended up marrying, I ended up getting married and
Hmm.
so after I got past 26, I was like, okay, we need a new goal. So it was like, okay, I got to get married by 30 because in my mind, I'm going to keep it 100. In my mind, it was, who's going to marry me after 30? Yes, this is what I was telling myself. Again, nobody had ever said this to me. This was all major
Wow.
curated, crazy talk conversation. I use crazy very respectfully. But
Yeah.
it was just all just mess that I had told myself and I still don't know why. And I ended up getting married to a gentleman. We had dated for 2 years, and I got married at 29, girl.
Girl, you just that deadline was right there.
I made it,
You
okay?
check.
I got married
Uh-huh.
at 29. Yeah, because I got married in January. I was 30 in March, so I was
So wait,
serious.
are we the same age? Yeah, because I turned 30
I'm
2019.
37.
I'll be 37 in July.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Come on, class of 89.
89. Yeah, 89. So, yeah, but I got married, and I looking back now, and as you know, I'm divorced, okay?
Yeah.
Looking back now at all the math, like why I'm
Mm,
divorced, everything. Like when you're in something, sometimes you don't know why. You don't always see all your habits, your traumas, your life experiences, expectations, all of these things that shape why you do what you do, or even like your shortcomings. Like we can look outwards and see what other people are, what they're doing or not doing. I, on the other hand, am a very self-aware person and oftentimes very hard on myself. So I also see my side, right? And so I'm
mm,
now dealing with the reality of like my own shortcomings, their shortcomings. It's just a wild world up here, you know?
yeah.
And yeah, so after 3 years of marriage, we separated. I always tell people it wasn't something that I wanted, but Hey, things happen, life happens. We get a
Mhm.
divorce. I didn't know, well, actually, I take that back. So during that time of the blooming, a lot of the blooming process for me started once we got separated because we were separated for a year. And so I didn't know what was going to happen, right? Were we going to get back together? Were we going to get divorced? There was still a big question mark on the table. But I had really gotten to like the lowest point of my life. I
Mm.
mean, the sun wasn't out, literally and figuratively in my world. It could be a bright
Mm.
sunny day outside, but it was overcast for me.
Yeah.
People would tell me, "Major, things are gonna get better." And I'm just like, "Okay, maybe for you,
Oh.
but not for
Yeah.
like the thing that I wanted, that I was banking on and really working toward for so many reasons, right? It failed. And to me, that was a failure, whether it was his fault, my fault, our fault. That was still something L that I had to take on for myself because I can't worry about what he's got going on. I can only think about me, right? Like I felt like I was
Yeah.
walking around with like a scarlet letter on me.
Oh.
And it was so embarrassing. So many people knew, right? About, because I had a very public marriage. I mean, it wasn't like we were creating like YouTube content and stuff, but people knew I
But you were both public figures, like,
very
you
public.
guys each have your platform, and so it's
Correct.
just like, and we got used to seeing y'all together, so then to not, it was like, "Oh,
Right. And I
oh,
never publicly come out
yeah,
and said like, "Hey, I'm divorced." Like this is my first time actually publicly saying like, "Hey, y'all, your girl's divorced,"
yeah,
you know? And so that was very hard, right? It felt like a big failure. It felt embarrassing. I was ashamed. I was sad. I was depressed. I was a mess,
yeah,
plainly. I had gained just a ton of weight during the marriage. There was so much evidence of how unhealthy I was that, yeah, I think I had to hit rock bottom for me to like
mhm,
start to rebuild a new foundation. And so I remember reading this book, and the guy said, "You need to spend some time recognizing the role you played in your own dysfunction." Because at that time, I was very much so like, well, I want this marriage to work. He doesn't, why does he, you know, I felt very much so like the one who was hurt, right? Like the
mhm,
victim.
yeah,
And when I read that line, it literally changed my whole brain chemistry because
really,
then I just allowed a deep level of self-awareness just to just like overcome me and just really start to focus on myself. Like, how did we get here, Major? How did we get here? I can't worry about the other person. I need to figure out how I got here. And it was all these things that I had prescribed onto myself, these deadlines,
mhm,
these ideas, things that I looked over, things that I wanted to just bypass, or, I can make things work, or whatever the case might be. All those things amounted to what got me in that, and then what led to the end of our marriage. And I'm just so thankful that I did get as low as I got because,
yeah,
one, I know that I'll never get back there again, right? Like the people that met me in that moment literally changed and shaped and held me. Like my therapist,
mm,
my friends that sat by my side, people who reminded me of like who I was. And it was during that time that I really did start to reshape my identity. My therapist really calling out just maybe some of the negative patterns that I had, I don't know, somehow adopted over life,
mm,
into a situation that I was in and still be so deeply emotional and attached and not really focus on myself, right? It's like it's
yeah,
all of your energy outwards and never really turning that in to tend to yourself. That's a bad recipe. It isn't
yeah,
anything good. And so, that one of my therapists at the time just reminding me, and I mentioned to you earlier, like, you got a lot of lover in you. You need to let your warrior shine a bit. Your warrior is going to allow you to get Major back. And now I don't even think that I don't think I got major back. I think that I've built this major like brick by brick, like they say.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not the same person I was before. I am so different. And
Yeah.
that came through again hitting rock bottom and learning, getting real with myself about like how did we get here? How can we avoid this in the future? And who do I want to become? Who? At
Yeah.
that time, it was just like, I'm just trying to survive. Like, I'm just trying
Okay.
to go like a couple hours without crying, and, all that stuff. And so, the thing that I thought would kill me literally gave me so much life. Like,
Wow.
so much life. I am so different. I am, I always knew I was resilient, like, because life was never easy for me. But when you go through something that just takes you so low, like, and you come out,
Yeah.
I mean, when life gets hard, like really hard sometimes, I'm like, Major, you've been through worse, baby girl. Like
Yeah.
this, like you got it. So it was definitely that I think has been the most. I don't even want to imagine what else is coming that's going to rock my world
Yeah.
in a way that is so transformational as that season of my life. But that was a season where I started to bloom into, I don't even, I guess it would be a whole new flower, girl.
I know that's right. Come on, a new species.
Yeah, right,
Mm.
right. Evolution. Okay.
So, you in this space,
Mhm.
what do you grieve about that past version of yourself? Because it is a brick that helped you to get here, but
How do I
what
grieve?
is it about that mid 20s major that was like, we got this deadline, girl, a self imposed deadline, but we're here, we've met this person, we're finally going to get close to accomplishing that goal.
Mhm.
What is it about that version of you that you grieved in this process of reclaiming yourself or reconnecting to either the core of who you are? But
Now, I want to make sure I'm understanding your question correctly. When you say
yes,
grieve, are you meaning grieving in the fact that, like, I wish I had her back, or what parts that I have to reckon with that I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. That was a part of my experience.
I would. That very good. I love clarifying questions. Initially, when I was thinking was more so the parts of you that you had to let go of,
Hmm.
but even in that shedding, then getting to the point of acceptance
Hmm.
too, because they're the different the stages of grief. So let's start with the initial one. So when you had to, you're now going through the process of divorce. You had that enlightening moment with your therapist who's like, you've already gone through the hardest part. Like showing up to court or finalizing, this is just the formality. You've already gone through the hardest part. So looking at that whole process of you approaching that deadline, just the mindset that you were in, what parts of you do you grieve of that version of major?
Oh, I feel so bad for her. Ugh.
Mm.
I mean, honestly, I wish I could just go wrap my arms around her and be like, girl, get it together.
She thought she had it
She
together.
is. She was a
This was just one
mess.
more
You hear me?
area.
Like, when I don't know. It's yeah, if I really probably thought very hard about that, I probably would start crying for the simple fact that, yeah, I really do. That was not my best time. Like that
Yeah.
whole season, there was so much pressure, so much noise that had influenced the decisions that I was making. And I wish that I had a great mentor, one that I didn't have to pay for, right? Or,
Yeah.
put on airs around, but like somebody that could have really just coached me through that season because
Mhm.
I didn't know what I was doing. I literally was just trying to figure it out. I did the very best that I could, but my very best was, it wasn't right. It wasn't
But
right.
do you think you would have been receptive to a coach at that time, given your
Could have,
mindset?
could have,
Really? So you would have been open to it?
because I think a lot of the things. I say things very whatever broadly because I don't
Broad, yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I was listening to some voices at the time, and that's what got me into that. And so I think that had I had maybe different voices or maybe just a woman close to me
Yeah.
who had gone through some things, truly, now that I'm really processing it, I think the only way that it really would have stuck is if that person would have known me before that season. Like they would have already
Mm.
had to have been a trusted voice, not a new thing, right? They
Gotcha.
would have had to be somebody who like I knew really loved me, that could really sit there with me and maybe shake me a little bit, to get me
Yeah.
to see things differently. But because my inner world is so deep and so vast and broad, I can come
Yeah.
up with all types of theories and concepts and ideas.
We're too creative for our own good.
Yeah, and so now today I'm letting my creativity be for good, where
Yeah.
just traditionally, I mean, I can come up with a worst case scenario like that, like
Listen,
what do you need? You know,
and come
what
up with
do
a
you
whole
need?
safety plan.
Hello, and
Listen.
so yeah, I think it
Mm.
was just yeah, I feel for her because I have so much grace for her. That's why the shame of the divorce that I felt then, I don't feel now because it all makes sense now. It makes so much sense. I'm like, I see how you got there, Major. I see the whole thing. It makes sense. And so now which I never really feel, I don't ever feel bad now about the fact that I got married, got divorced, anything like that. I chalk it up to, especially because now I know better, I shouldn't have
Yeah.
gotten married. That's just it.
Mm.
There's no blame on my side, his side. It's just I shouldn't have gotten married. That that's it. Period.
But do you think you needed to go through that experience at that time so that way you can kind of
I think I could have learned differently.
a different okay.
Think but because of the decisions that I made, right? I'm focused on me. Because of the decisions I made, that was a journey that I had to take. I got on that train, right?
Willingly.
I got on that train for years. And so it did take me a while to get back home. But
Mm.
I accepted that ticket, got aboard and rode. Okay. And so
Yeah.
when I'm thinking about decisions that I've made or things that have happened to me, sure, some things do happen to me, but because of that self-awareness, and again, that one line that I read about recognizing the role that I played in my own dysfunction, I don't have to think about anybody else but Major because
Yeah.
that gives me that sovereignty over my life, right? If I'm For some people, they really are completely, fully victimized in a lot of ways, right? Something happened to them
Yeah.
they didn't ask for, they didn't plan for, things like that. Sure. And there was some things like that, right? I mean, he could probably say the same thing about certain things or whatever the case might be. But for my situation and the way that my brain has interpreted all of the data that I've compiled now over these years, I'm like, okay, girl,
Yeah.
you just shouldn't have got married. But you did. And there
Yeah.
were some amazing moments, there were some terrible moments, but you learned. Some people say you live and you learn. I say you live and you learn if you want to, because we don't
Yeah.
always learn. I
True.
learned. And so now, because of that experience, kickstarted deep intensive therapy, so many different modalities, right? Whether it was talk therapy, the EMDR, I'm doing hypnotherapy now, which is
Okay.
amazing.
Really?
Yes, and I'm telling everybody about it because it is awesome. But these are things that I wouldn't have done because, or I might not have done, right? Who knows what have happened in a different
Yeah.
universe, right? Of time. But in this time, I am grateful. Like I'm so grateful for all the rich experiences that I've had, whether they were good or bad, because they've resulted in me. Like I'm still here. Like I'm thriving.
Yeah.
I'm alive. I get to shape my world daily. I get to live life on like some amazing new terms, right? That aren't
Yeah.
dictated by other people or like these false timelines. And yeah, I really said this is the best time of my life because I say it is. Like,
Yeah.
period. And then my actions follow. And then all these experiences around me just validate my beliefs. And so it's a good time, regardless of whether some things are great or bad or not. Like this is when I compare,
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, we are doing great.
Listen, you
Yes.
are. We see it. Like you're shining. Like you can see the glow. It is definitely someone who is healed and is brighter and can see the sun
Yes,
now.
the sun is back out for
The
sure.
sun is back out in your world.
Mhm.
So, have you broken free from not putting self-imposed deadlines or rigid deadlines on yourself? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Probably too much. So, well, okay, I
Oh,
take that back.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so here's my latest timeline. And this one,
Okay.
I'm like, I'm flexible, but it's more realistic. It's rooted in more realistic things. So
Okay.
childless, right? I have no kids running around here. It's very quiet on the set in this house.
Yeah. Okay.
But I love kids and I always wanted to be a mom. Remember, age 26, we were gonna
Oh,
start having some babies.
yeah.
Well, there was no child produced out of my previous marriage, and I think people can do whatever they wanna do and produce kids in whatever way they want to.
Yeah.
For me, partnership is so important. I want to have an amazing partner on my side to birth a child and to raise them up in a ton of love, and so I want to be in a marriage. And
Yeah.
so, I'm not married, and so I ain't got no kids, and I'm nearing
Okay.
40, okay?
Yeah.
So, people will say like, "Oh, well, you can have kids into your 40s." I'm like, "Listen, my grandma had twins at 44. I know what's possible." Okay?
Okay.
That's not what Major wants. No. Okay. And I
Okay.
totally respect women who have kids later on into their
Yeah.
40s. I look at my life and I'm like, "Okay, if I don't have a baby in like the next year, maybe the next year, I'm open to adoption, fostering, things
Okay.
like that, but me actually getting pregnant, I think about I wake up now and I'm so active. I wake up, my back is hurting, like, oh shoot, my ankle, and some of that is because of my lifestyle, but it's also I'm getting older. Like,
Yeah.
I don't live in this like delusional world of, oh yeah, like I can do it. Sure, there are things, but there's also a reproductive system that's changing here, right? And so
Yeah. And we've had them from birth.
yes.
So,
And so
and the
I'm
the
I
functions,
know
yeah.
I know so much about my body because I get tested for all these different things and what's my egg reserve like and all this stuff. So I'm very
Oh, so you've okay.
yes, I'm very aware of where I am today. And I've grieved the fact that I might not ever birth a child. Like I'm like, okay. And I
Mm,
feel that that is something that if I don't ever do, that I'll always carry with me. But the
mm,
other side of it is I would rather grieve that than have a child with somebody that I don't want to actually have a child with, or that
yeah.
isn't a great decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't wanna do things out of a desperation because that's what got me into situations before.
Before.
So,
Mhm.
I gotta let life bloom as it blooms. Trying
Absolutely.
to GMO this thing, like, let it just be. And so,
Yeah.
um, I think that's the only, like, little timeline that I'm really on right now, but that is,
Yeah.
like, necessarily just a brain thing,
That
it's
yeah, that's not it's medically, it's scientifically like there
biological.
are just certain risks that are
Sure.
heightened just the more advanced age, and the label of geriatric pregnancy is very disrespectful, but that
And I mean,
it
listen, I'm so grateful. I've seen so many journeys. I've seen
Yeah.
friends that unfortunately have lost so many kids. I've seen
Mm,
people have gone through IVF and all the different things. I've seen friends that just be like, girl, I'm pregnant. I wasn't even planning for, I've seen it all. And
yeah.
I appreciate all of that. But the other side of it, again, if I could just be completely transparent,
Candid, yeah.
I met with somebody recently and she was talking to me about she's in her 40s, mid early 40s. She just had her first child. And I was like, "Are you comfortable with me asking questions?" Sure. I'm like, "Okay, great," because I got a lot. I'm like,
Yeah.
"How does it feel?" And being your age and having, an infant. And she's like, well, she gave me her whole story. But ultimately, again, another brain chemistry changing statement. She's like, I felt like I had really just enjoyed so much of my life that really the next
Mm,
step just felt like, yes, let's have a kid. And it just made me go into a deep dive of, can I say the same thing?
mm,
Have I enjoyed so much of my life, or have I just worked? You know, I work
yeah.
a lot. I've worked since age 8 in some way. You know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
just worked. And so much of my life has been curated fun through work, but not just carefree living where I can be selfish and enjoy my life.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm at right now, where it's like, to have a kid is, you can't be selfish. It is the most selfless thing in
Yeah.
life that I could have possibly imagined. And so finding the balance between like, okay, I feel like I'm starting to live now a little bit, like I'm starting to dip my toe into the living pool, and having a kid and that time, these timelines, I don't know how they're going to match up. And so
Yeah.
there's a big question mark surrounding that. Now, if I text you one day and I got a belly next year, you'd be like, "Mate,
Like, send me the wish list because we Tati Chris is coming up. Okay,
period."
we about to spoil this baby
But
right.
yeah, so that's the only new timeline that I'm like, but I'm not pressed about it. Like, I don't go to sleep thinking about it. I don't pressure myself.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if it comes up in conversation, but that also shows a high level of growth on my end, right? Where before
Okay.
trying to control, control, control. Now I'm just like, okay, Sarah, Sarah. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I will still have a beautiful life, period.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's the latest
And
time.
there's so many ways to mother, like being an aunt,
Mhm.
being godmom, or
Yes.
just the kids in your life. There's so many ways to
And I love all of
exercise that that
yeah,
maternal energy.
yeah.
So your view regarding marriage, because you do want to be partnered and you do see yourself getting married. So is that like exciting? Like how has that, because you've gone through the experience and
Yeah.
then you have mentioned, you did experience divorce.
Mhm.
So from this healed place and looking at the future and being married, what are your non-negotiables, or like have you even thought about that? Like cuz you're dating, so there's more intentionality. You're like,
Yes.
and then you have that soft deadline,
Yeah.
timeline of like, so what, how has that
What does
changed
it
for
look like?
you?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
welcome to my world, okay?
Yes.
So it is exciting, but also like I'm figuring this out day by day. And
Yeah.
so there are a few things that are like non-negotiables for me. I am a lover girl and have always been. I haven't always been able to express that. So
Mm.
in any partnership moving forward, lover girl major has to be fully expressed because I've got a lot of love, a lot of energy, just like my mom. She
Yeah.
told me, like, I asked her, like, how was I as a kid? She's like, you were always just like a little like lovely,
Love bug. Mm.
and that is, but life life made me hard, to where like I wasn't a hugger and things like that. And through therapy and just self-expression, I'm she's coming back, right?
Yeah.
Every day. And that starts with me. And so being able to have safety and to be able to push that out and that person to be able to receive it and give it back is so,
Mm.
so needed.
Yeah, reciprocity for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think more than anything, I'm actually just looking for partnership. Like I I think about, you know, the relationship that I'm in now. He's got his own things going on. He's a big deal in his world, and
Okay.
I'm a big deal in my world. And
I
so
love that.
having being in relationship with somebody who has their life like together and about their business and passion and direction, and that's like chasing after like their own healing and growing. Like we are both like growing at different scales and levels, but like both just growing. And so there's like a nice big safety there of being able to communicate,
Mm.
of being able to grow at my own pace, for him to be able to grow at his own pace and know that like it's really all love. Like
Ooh.
that is so cool for me. And so when I think about having a child, I would love a child born in that type of safety where there is just like
Yeah.
love. Like
Yeah.
that's really
That's
like,
the ideal. We would all
yeah,
want to experience that and hope to create from that. Yeah.
absolutely. So a
That's
lot
how
of
it should
love
be.
and safety. And so you think at this big
Yes.
age, I'm 37, I'm a fresh 37. I'm grown, okay? Oh, you know, this is what I'm saying, that person, they have to have their life together. We're not
Yeah.
20, we're not even like 30. I'm nearing 40. And so
Yeah.
I'm more thinking about how to work less and still financially thrive than work hard. No,
Yeah.
I feel like my hardest working days are behind me,
Yeah.
really. Like, I think
Yeah.
work is just gonna look very different for me these days, and it's just I mean, I'm a business owner now, so many things are different, but, yeah, relationship marriage to me definitely seems appealing with the right spouse.
Okay.
They have to, again, they gotta be about some growth, be very secure in certain areas of their life, and
Okay.
just just a loving person. Like, I need that, and so
Yeah.
I have
And you
that.
deserve.
I'm like, "That sounds like a great life," you know?
Yeah.
But, like, any type of and this is nothing about, like, my past marriage because it wasn't like that for us, but, like, bickering and arguing and, like, all that stuff, like, that's never been my life. I've never been that girl. I want none of
Yeah.
and so when you're at this age, um you get a beautiful view to be able to like see things differently and think about like, okay, what do I want to grow old with?
Mm.
Is this somebody that like I want to like spend the summer in Nice with?
Yeah.
Is this somebody that I want to be by my side when I wake up and my back is hurting? Will they rub it for
Yeah.
me and call somebody to
Yeah.
help me if I need it? You start to look at what you want in a partner very differently. And so um it does make the pool, I think, quite small for some, especially a woman like myself who is very business oriented. I'm so grateful that I've somehow through all these years produced a certain level of success. And so partnership has to look very different, right? Like I'm not,
Yeah.
you know, it's got to be right. And so
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I'm here and that I have
Yeah.
another chance at it again, right? Like
That's
I
awesome.
know
That's
so
beautiful.
many people, they've written off love. They don't want it. Like, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
done, but my lover girl, she's activated. Okay. And so I'm like, yes, love, good love, safe love,
Yeah.
supportive love. I want all of that. And so I'm totally willing to do that again with the right partner in actual partnership where we can just love each other and level up and grow together. That to me, that's my new expectation for marriage.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it is unattainable either. Like it's always possible. And I think the people who kind of shy away from it are still hurt and have a bitter lens is because they don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
And because the pain of what they went through was so deep, I mean, it's realistic to not want to go through that, to be fearful of being that vulnerable, putting yourself out there, putting your trust into someone, and while also trying not to project too, and then
Yeah.
checking egos. There's so much that you're
And if you
shedding.
can't do that, don't.
Don't,
But what
yeah.
I always tell people is like, don't stay there. You rob yourself of so much life by staying there. I could have stayed there. I really could have. This could be a very different podcast episode, okay? It could be very different. But
Yeah.
I don't all my energy, I'm like, "I need that back in my life." I don't want my
Yeah.
energy floating around and I'm focused on this person, what they did, what they didn't do. It's like, what about me? Okay?
Yeah.
I take care of myself. I have to love myself. And I nurse myself back to a certain level of health, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I get it, but I can't let somebody rob me of a lifetime because of love, of experiences. No,
Yeah.
knows heartache is always on the horizon. It doesn't matter what it's about, right? It could be a death in the family,
And true. There's
a death of a dream. Like it's
mhm.
always there. And so one of my therapists taught me, she gave me another great lesson. I don't remember which one it was, but she told me, she's like, you need to learn how to grieve well. And I was like, okay. And so I've been practicing that because I know
Yeah.
grief is it's on my bingo card. It's life.
It's
Nothing's easy.
inevitable. And
Correct.
there's so many different ways that grief can impact you, for
Correct.
sure.
And so
For
just
me, yeah, for me it's been just honoring the feelings as they come up and not pushing
Mhm.
them down. That's
Yeah,
the biggest way. If you're having a bad moment, have the bad moment.
for sure. Because it just stays in your body, right?
Yeah.
And now you're inflamed or your digestive
Yeah.
tract is a mess or your bones
Oh,
are aching or
the
whatever.
amount of people having autoimmune disorders and stuff now because of all that stress and
Yep. I had an autoimmune disorder that popped up during that time, and it was
wow.
stress induced. It was
Yeah.
bad. It's Michael Jackson bad. It was bad, okay? And
Child.
so, you know, when I think about, like, this is the work of my life,
Yeah.
I can I might slack up on a lot of things in life, which is not my personality, but I can, "Oh, I know I should be doing better than that." What I've committed to is I will never slack up on major, ever,
Yeah.
ever. I am forever a work in progress. There is no one to compare myself to. There is no I mean, outside of, like, actual, like, timelines and due dates for clients, stuff like that,
Yeah.
girl, my life is gonna be what it's going to be. Like, am I fed? Am I taken care of? Am I healthy?
Yeah.
Am I alive? Like, can I see? You know what I mean? Do I have
Yeah.
me? Like, just removing all those expectations, it has helped me so much because I was so bent on other people's thoughts, their opinions, stuff that, like, girl, people don't even care.
Yeah.
If they did, I would have heard about it. They don't care. They do not care. I'm the one who cares. And so if I'm going to be thinking about anything, it is about how does Major care about her life? How do I experience my life? And then all the work and the energy and the money and all that it takes to pour into making this vessel of mine like thrive. That's where my energy is these days. And I'm like, that's what I need to pay off. Because if I'm happy with myself,
Yeah.
everybody else just gets to experience the work that I do. But it's for me.
It's the overflow.
Yeah.
You should never be, the whole pouring from an empty cup. Like
Yep.
the realest thing that I heard, I don't how long ago it was, but it's just no one is supposed to you shouldn't be pouring from your cup. People should be receiving the overflow.
Mhm. It's
And you
fair.
should be filling yourself up. So that said, you have mentioned something earlier that has just stuck with me and honestly shifted my initial like theme of this episode. It was supposed to be about like reinventing yourself or rebranding yourself like after going through hardships, but it's beautiful how most of your messaging has been like getting back to who you are.
Mhm.
If anything, instead of rebuilding or reinventing, it's recentering, is what I'm picking up. And you mentioned your therapist giving you that permission, so to speak, of yes, you're going through a hard time. Give yourself 2 days and then come back to you. And so I want to go there.
Yes.
What did you do to get back to you?
So many things. Um, well, it was community, right? So I allowed people to enter my space when I was a mess. Like, I have one friend, shout out to her. She knows who she is. When she hears this, she'll be like, "That's me." You know? She just
Yeah.
came and sat with me And I remember, I don't know what it's called, but I know in the Jewish tradition, when somebody dies, I think it's them, they cover
They
all,
cover the mirrors and
and then
yeah.
they don't really talk. Like they just sit
Yeah.
with the person who's grieving. And so we had our own version of that. She just sat with me and we just watched TV, and I just rolled back over on my bed and cried as she sat, on a side chair in my room. And I just had allowed people to sit with me in my grief.
Mm.
I never wanted them to make a home in my grief, because I've
Yeah.
had a bad habit of like doing that with other people, just like enmeshing myself in their grief just so they can feel loved. But none of them did
Mm.
that for me. They just sat with me in my grief, and then they would go back home and always make themselves available. So I allowed my community in, and I was very expressive. Like I might have shut off for a little bit, but then once I opened that door back up again, I was a very open book. I read a lot. I read a lot of books. I journaled. I'm a writer, and I write my best work, unfortunately, when I'm down bad. Okay. So pen was heavy. Okay. Some of my best pieces.
Okay, R&B.
I
You
mean,
probably could have written whole albums
oh
and
my gosh,
things.
these poems, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, where was that? Where's that girl? I don't write to say
Yeah.
happy. But I journaled. I mean, my journal became my best friend. I journaled every
Mm.
thought, every ruminating thought, every idea, every concept, every disappointment. I mean, I laid it all out. Um, I got into deep therapy. And so whether that was, again, talk therapy, EMDR, you name it, even like I said, I'm in hypnotherapy now, which I think is so cool. I love all the modalities of therapy. I
Yeah.
worked out, I got my body and my mind right. Movement is great for you, right? When you are
Yeah.
grieving or in a transition, you've got to let that come out of your body. Like it has to
Yeah.
come, otherwise it's stuck. So I moved my body. I was in the gym, working out, moving around, whatever the case might be. And yeah, I think I don't now I see it, but I didn't name it back then. I think I just made like a commitment to myself that I was just going to rebuild my life. I didn't see it like that back then. I just felt like
Yeah.
I can't have this kill me. Like
Yeah.
I can't die here. This can't be it.
Yeah.
Even though some days did feel like death. Like,
Yeah.
wait, we got to get up again and like talk to people. I got to take a shower. I got to put
Yeah.
clothes on. Like, this is a lot of work.
Yeah.
I allowed people to love on me, and I just put the work in. Like, I did the work. The work for me looks very different than the work for other people. And that's why, like we joked about it earlier. I find myself, counseling other people through their divorces because
Yeah.
I've been through it, and I'm like, I'm not shy to talk about it now because I'm not ashamed of it
Yeah.
anymore, and it's really nothing to be ashamed about. I think we prescribe shame in a lot of ways where we don't need to. You don't. People go through drama
Yeah.
all the time, whether it's bankruptcy, and ending a relationship, losing a job. It's like,
Yeah.
even if you were the problem, are you growing? Have you changed? If you've evolved, then sure, you could feel bad about it, but the shame doesn't need to be there, especially when you've evolved out of the situation. And so, um, I think it was really a combination of things. There wasn't one thing that I did that got
Yeah.
me out of the pit, but it was a combination of like a lot of little things that compounded over days to where one day the sun was just back out again. Like it wasn't even something that I planned, like, oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna feel better again. It was just like
Yeah.
I kept at it. I kept living. I kept experiencing life. I got out of the house. I, did all the things. And then one day, yeah, my world opened back up again, and it we're still here.
That's beautiful. In that, has that impacted your career at all? How did that, like, navigating that journey?
Yeah.
Like, so was it like you're kind of going through hell, like in your personal life, like outside of the 8 to 5, 9 to 5? But when you were at work,
Mm.
like, did you mask it or were you just like, this is me?
Yeah, so some people knew. that I worked with, and they were very much so loving and kind and,
Give you
but
your space. Mm.
yeah, but overall, I mean, this was also still like kind of pandemic-y time, right? So there's still like some engagement, but like we're just starting
Oh
to come
yeah.
out again and stuff. Um, but the work really just gave me a space to not have to dwell in that all the time, which was nice. And so some people didn't even know what I was going through. And that was great because usually what happens is when business is thriving, something in my life is doing the complete opposite, right? It's just
Yeah.
joy and sorrow. Um, but thankfully, yeah, people around me, a lot of them were very kind and tender with me. But I know a lot of people that I surround myself with, which is so bizarre, they can be very avoidant. And so I never really had
Mm.
to talk about it a lot if I didn't want to.
I mean, that's helpful.
Yeah, I'm not an avoided person, so if I seem like, "How are you? How are you doing? Okay, do you need anything? Tell me, what's going on in your heart right now?" I'm that person.
Yeah.
Other people around me, they're like, "If she's not talking about it, I'm not talking about it." And so,
Yeah.
I just got through it because the world
Okay.
didn't stop, right?
No.
So the bills didn't stop, the
Huh.
client emails didn't stop, but I'm grateful that the checks didn't stop,
Hello.
invoices kept clearing, and so
Yeah.
life continued. But yeah, man, it was a lot of little things. There wasn't one thing that I did that got me like back to me.
Okay.
A long time
It was
ago,
a combination.
yeah, I thought that I was becoming a new person. And but my
Really?
most recent therapist, the one I'm doing hypnotherapy with, she's actually helped me do a lot of identity work. And she's like, Major, I don't really think that you're becoming somebody new. I think you're becoming who you always have been. It's just
Mm.
life experiences kind of like slap these labels on you or made you kind of like shy away from like your feelings or being expressive or whatever. Cause I can remember a time where I was so much of who I am now, but then life had its way with me and then I became another version of myself, not really who I am. And so
Yeah.
I think she's like, I really think you're just becoming you again. And I'm like, "Ooh, that sounds exciting." Like, who are you?
Yeah. It's more adventurous. It's more
It really
thrilling
is.
because
It's
you're
fun.
like ready for the next step. Like discovering new interests or reconnecting with past interests, but now that you're an adult, you have your own money, like you can explore and do things
Free
now,
will,
you know.
right? I mean, I
Free will, yes.
explore and just nerd out and allow myself to be an experiment, right? That's the
Yeah.
coolest thing for me is like, okay, let me try this. Okay, let's see this, or let's read this
Yeah.
book, or let's have this experiences. And my brain, all it needs is a little evidence. Like once I do something, or I can see in reality, like this thing is true, it can become real. Like it's up from there. Cause I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like, wait, like this thing that's been in my brain, it actually works. Wow. And so a lot of my life today is just allowing experiences to prove to my brain that like this new reality is really my life. Like,
Wow.
it's still crazy up here and in my life. There's still bad things that happen and things like that. But who
Yeah.
I am is so different that my whole reality is different. That's why I say like words matter so much. The things that we prescribe onto ourselves, the things that we express, the things that we allow people to say to us, or things that we hear.
Um,
So I'm like, I gotta, I'm shaping all this wiring up here. I'm working
yeah.
really hard on it because I'm like, the way that I think will literally shape the way that I walk through the rest of my life
Yeah.
completely, whether things are good or bad. And so I'm like, I got to feed it really, really good things. Like that whole, like, what's the best thing that can happen? That's
Yeah.
what I'm on right now, you know?
Leading with that first instead of the
Yeah.
doomsday.
And thinking the best of people and things and not the worst.
Yeah.
My brain as a publicist and who's managing
Yeah.
crisis,
Crisis
do not
management.
want
Yeah.
yeah, for what's
Yeah.
about to go down. But
Yeah.
that's even work that I'm doing in therapy is just allowing that part of me to settle and only
Mm.
come up when it really needs to be so that I can live and enjoy reality, right? Versus
Yeah.
always scanning. Like, I don't want to scan. We don't need to scan all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we're okay. Things are all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Not having to be prepared, like staying ready so you ain't got to get ready is something that I
Right.
find myself being because I tend to overthink and over prepare for worst case scenarios.
Uh-huh.
But for me, I was always thinking it's more of a protective mechanism, like because I don't want it to rock me. So if I at least plan and prepare, or um, even questioning like discernment of people is like, like what are you doing? I don't want you to come and interfere my
We'll
things. So I
talk
want,
a bit more about that offline.
yeah, I
I
want to
have the
shift that for
same thought
myself.
process,
Yeah,
but that type of thinking can get a little out of hand
it
very
can.
easily,
Yeah,
and so there's a time and place for that part of
yeah,
you to shine, but it
yeah.
should not be living, at least for me. I can't prescribe
Be
that.
the defense mechanism. Yeah,
Correct. That
yeah,
should like that part of me shouldn't shine every day, all day, because
yeah.
it has robbed me of just being able to enjoy.
Yeah. And you're such a community focused person, like your own personal community, things you put out into the community. So like you do need to have a level, you need to be open.
Yeah.
So having to navigate that space of like second guessing or, being watchful of like things that's you can't
Mhm.
really operate to your full potential in doing that. But that said, what do your boundaries look like now?
Ah, the B word.
Healthy boundaries, like
Um,
because you're open and a love bug and you know who
mhm.
you are, and because you've done the work of getting to like recentering. I
Yeah.
would be For me, I'd be protective over that, but not there's a fine line between being protective and being guarded.
Yes. And so,
And so yeah,
well, this is currently the work that I'm doing now. What
yeah.
it looks like is not doing the most. I'm a friend that can do the most. If you invite me into your mess, I'm like, what's up? What are we doing? What do we need to do? Okay. And so
Yeah.
I'm in there right with you. I'm not doing that anymore. Not my thing anymore. And so I will join someone. That's why when I use that bed analogy about misery or when things go wrong, or even when things go great, I will sit with you. I'll come sit on your bed. I'll get out of my,
Yeah.
my outside clothes and I'll change and I'll sit with you on the bed. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not cozying up with you.
Mm.
I'm not lying down and falling asleep and waking up and talking about it with you and getting like that deep in the mess with
Getting
you because
into
that
it.
is your world. That's not my world. No.
Mm.
And so I will get close enough to be able to help encourage, inspire, maybe give you a different thought process. I mean, I will hold you, but that enmeshment and because that's what steals my joy. Because now I'm
Mm.
mad. Now I'm ready to ride at dawn. Okay.
Are you
I
are you an empath?
Oh, yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I was like, that
And
that sounds
so
like one week because that's my struggle is I get into your energy to try to bring you up, but it drains me. So I've been doing so what you're talking about is perfect. Just I can keep my energy, but just
yes,
be there for you without meeting where you're at.
absolutely. Because my thermostat will has traditionally just totally will change. It's like, "Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
goodness, they're sad. Okay, we're sad."
Yeah. And now we're
You know?
angry
And
and
now
let's
we're
burn
angry,
things.
And now I'm thinking now I've taken on your feeling. And so now the work that I'm doing currently living out is like, I'm still me. And so the thing that I've been saying is just because they're having a bad day doesn't make my day bad. I'm having a great day. I'm sorry you're having a bad day. Everybody
Yeah.
has bad days. Have the bad day. But my day isn't bad. And so that's just like a nice just synopsis of what that looks like for me.
Right
Whereas
now, yeah.
I can still love on you. I'll still be there to support you. But listen, if you want to sit and dwell in grief, just know I'm here. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop shining my light. I'm not going to stop loving you. I'm not going to stop enjoying my life because you are in a bad season. What I ultimately want is my life or whatever I got going on to encourage you. That's it.
Yeah.
Period. I will sit with you, do all the things, but I can't have you thinking that doom and gloom is all that there is to life, because I'm going to need
Yeah.
somebody when I'm in my doom and gloom to still keep living their life to show me that there's more to the world than what I'm experiencing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I haven't always done a great job at that. I mean, whoo, I'll lay down with you. I'm in church, I'm living, we're there, because I'm great at
Yeah.
that. No
Yeah.
more. And so, I am, again, deeply passionate about really trying to protect like my energy and still love people and still be
Yeah.
there for them. But while I am still while I'm in a good place, I need to take that as a recognize as a place of privilege, because we all have seasons of highs and lows, and to be at a high, I think, is a privilege. And so I want to use that privilege
Yeah.
very well. I want to be a light. I want to encourage my friends and the people I love to do great, and to remind them of, that life is still good. Share
Yeah.
them, encourage them. Like, I can't get down there with you, because now
Yeah.
we're both struggling, right?
Yeah.
So that is the work that I'm doing, of just really letting people be whatever they are. You're not my responsibility to fix, to change,
Yeah. Ooh, that was a
that.
big one.
Like, I'm going to let you live your life. I'm just going to try to encourage you, because
Yeah.
my light dims if I match your energy, and I know that I have a light. Like,
Yeah.
I know that. I didn't always know that. I know it now. And so that comes with a
Mm.
big responsibility. I'm like, wait a minute, I can be a light in a room. Like, okay, so when I go places, like, I want to leave bits of goodness wherever I go, whether it's like smiling
Yeah.
at the senior, or like waving at somebody, or making eye contact with a little baby, or there's just a lot of
Yeah.
things that you can utilize just your presence for good. And I'm like, I want to be able to do that. And I can't
Yeah.
do that if I'm down in the dumps with you, or if you get down
Yeah.
in the dumps with me.
Cause then who gonna save us? We both in the pit.
I want to
We
be
sinking.
saved, you know? So like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so again, I'm speaking, and the way that I'm speaking, I would have never have talked like this circa 5 months ago,
Wow.
even 3 months.
Wow. Wow. Even that close.
Telling
Wow.
you, this work I've been doing is working. Okay.
Girl,
And
you gonna need to
so
send me the numbers.
I will send you the link. But now that I've started to recognize, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. I got a big responsibility. Take care of myself. That's first and foremost. Major, you got to make sure you're straight. I'm not always straight. Yesterday was not a good day for me. Even this morning, I was,
Mm.
oh, I got this podcast. Okay, I got to talk to her. Okay. You know,
Yeah.
but because I allowed myself just to be, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you know what? I know where I am. And my cycle, oh, Major, okay, your emotions are just a little low. That's all.
Child.
Like, you're
Yeah.
okay. And so I'm tending to myself and being a little softer versus beating
Yeah.
myself up about, like, why do I feel like this? Whatever. It's like, this is just the
Yeah.
natural flow of my life. And so,
Yeah.
okay, I know where I'm at. I can let people around me know, hey, I'm not really in the best mood.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with you. It's me. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'm better tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, protecting that energy, it's some hard work, because I'm
Yeah.
realizing, uh, yeah, some people, they don't even realize the level of dysfunction that they're walking around with, and they just
Mm.
unleash it everywhere, everywhere. And I still get caught up in it sometimes. I have to come back to myself, like, Major,
Yeah.
come back, girl. Like, don't
You almost slipped up there.
don't get sucked into whatever they've got going
Yeah.
on. But it's not easy. This is daily, 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 minute by minute, brick by brick.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is the work of my life. So I'm not rushing to get anywhere. I'm not
Yeah.
rushing to arrive. Like, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And that's cool.
Yeah.
There's no stress, no pressure. There's none. I have nobody to report to.
Okay.
There's nobody
That part.
being like, you're not where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, who knows that? Nobody.
Yeah.
I'm straight. And so just being able to give myself a break in that way and just enjoy my life, there's just a deep sigh of relief that has come in this season of my life that
Yeah.
I don't need to I'm not in a rush to get anywhere,
Yeah.
nowhere. And I love that
And
for
and I would imagine that it helps you clearly see that what is for you is for you and what's
Mhm.
meant for you won't pass you.
Yes.
Because when you're constantly chasing, you're against this rat race, whether it's something that you self-imposed or you're trying to match up with like society's expectations, all these external things that you're trying to keep up with for whatever reason,
Mhm.
you don't give yourself the chance to be like, actually, do I want that?
Correct.
Like, what is the quality of my life? Because then you fast forward, and it's not until unfortunately you experience something detrimental that has to stop you,
Yes.
whether it's a health issue or physical health issue or mental health issue. Then it's like, what is my life? Like, something eventually happens that causes you to stop and be present.
Yes, 1,000%. And so it goes back to our conversation about motherhood, right? I could put
Yeah.
myself on a faux timeline, a manufactured one that, sure, maybe it's my body's timeline, but I'm not
Yeah.
stressed about it. I'm just trying to enjoy my life. What do I look like? I know everybody's life is different, but to me,
Yeah.
I find no joy or benefit in stressing out about trying to get pregnant or figure out a way for me to bring a child into this world that doesn't produce a healthy, happy place for that child, period. And so
Yeah.
I want to produce anything that I'm doing, anything that comes out of me, I want it to be filled with a lot of love. That's my intention. Now, some
Yeah.
things are produced out of stress. Okay, keep it a buck. That's fine.
Yeah.
In my healthiest place, I want it to be out of love and goodness, not stress about what could be or what people are so, "Oh, my mom wants a grandbaby," like, she got a lot of
Yeah.
other grandbabies, she'll be okay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to prescribe that to myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My life is all that of my own, and the
Yeah.
more I settle in that, the more joy I find, and the more and I don't do this for other people, but I hope that anybody that's watching my life, that they also get permission to do the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes you need the example to see what's possible.
yes. I've realized that I need permission still, which I don't like that, but sometimes I still do need permission. Like,
Yeah.
somebody says like, "Yeah, you know you can do that, right, Major?" I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes you need that. Yeah.
Now I can go do it because still all little kids." You know what I
We
mean? And
are.
I'm like, "Okay, I just need permission to XYZ." And so I want people to be able to look at, how I'm living, whether it's
Yeah.
grieving or exploring new things or having a ton of different careers or interests or going to hypnotherapy or XYZ or trying love again after divorce, whatever it is, it's like we're just experiments of our own, right? And so I want other
Yeah.
people to have permission to live life on the terms that make sense for you, not governed by your mom, your daddy,
Yeah.
the government, internet, what you think you're supposed to do. It's like, what is going to bring you joy? What's gonna make sense?
Yeah.
How are you gonna be able to thrive, right? And what does that mean to you? What does that look like? Live into that a bit more. We all can't do exactly what we wanna do all the time. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know. But we can start to add a bit of that to our lives to help fill it out in the areas where we don't maybe have as much of a say. And I think those are the places where we get to just have a lot of creativity and yeah, let life get good again.
Yeah. This has been an amazing episode, Major. I'm so glad to have had I'm this has been the perfect conversation because I feel like even with my current crossroads, I needed to hear this too.
Good.
And I'm sure there's so many people listening that can resonate and this is like perfect timing. So for somebody who just like lastly, somebody that is in the thick of it,
Uh-huh.
where there's the sun is not shining for them, and it's even going to work is not enough. They're just trying to make it to the next moment, child. What
Hmm.
is one bit of advice if you were the divorce doula that I'm coining for you now?
Another job.
What is another job? Another job. What is one thing you have to say to that Bloomy right now?
Well, the truth of the matter is, you don't have to see it for it to be true. You don't have to see it right now. You don't. We don't always know that rain is coming to water our crops. We don't always know how money is going to come in, where friendships are going to arrive. We don't always know everything. That would rob us of imagination and just living life if we knew. Um, if you can open up your heart enough to let some love in, whether that be a friend, a podcast, sometimes that's the safest thing is you just need to immerse yourself in another world, something helpful. Um, Start a new YouTube series, read a book, journal, do something that is good for you in this present moment and continue. That's all you got to do is continue. That's it. I believe that life, love, friendships, and love, I mean that in a multitude of ways. You know, it could just be, shoot, maybe the person at Starbucks giving you discount on your drink or a free drink. You know, I just believe that love and nurturing will meet you along the way, but you got to just tune your dial to good. You don't have to know how it's going to show up. That's where life gets hard because you don't see it. But if you tune your dial to good, good things will start to meet you. And if you focus on that every single day, get out of the dwelling on what happened. You can't change that. There's no going back. There's no rewriting. But your future is yours to write. That's the cool thing. We can't change what happened, but we can write a new future. And so if you can turn your dial to good and just focus on bettering yourself in some form or passion every day, life will start to get better. Period. It might not be perfect, but it will start to get better. And when you get strong enough, then you can really start fighting for the new, better version, chapter, or whatever it is in your life that you deserve.
That is beautiful. Thank you so much, Major.
Um,
So, where can the people find you? Where can they follow you and support you? What do you got coming up?
yeah, so you can, so if you're interested in all the things that I'm doing, whateversgood.com for my PR business, Eat
Eat
Project Pop.
Project
Woo,
Pop.
getting trademarked right now, so I've got like all my
Oh,
great, yes, eprojectpop.com for popcorn. If you are local in Central Florida, you can do pickup. You can pick up your order at the Good Crowd. You got to place it online. Or if you're anywhere in the country, we can ship directly to your house. And for all things just like random about my life, Major Creates on Instagram is normally where I am. I'm studying to become a Pilates instructor. And so I'll start teaching hopefully this summer, which I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be the perfect integration of all of these things that we've been talking about today. Being able to
absolutely.
bring movement to people's bodies and their life. So yeah, Major Creates is probably the safest place to find me because you can get directed to everything else from there.
The main hub.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I will have the links to everything in the description of this episode. So please be sure to like, follow, subscribe, share this episode with someone that you feel will receive it and needs it. And until next time, Bloomies, I'll talk to you later. Bye.